Hello, my name is John and this hopefully will be the first proper video I've made for YouTube. I'm very interested in old tractors and machinery, and so I'm starting up having a YouTube channel called Old Tractors and Machinery. So we've come today, as we're in Western Australia, to Carnamah to see the biggest sculpture of a tractor in the world, so they say. It's a Chamberlain K40, which was first made west of Perth, east of Perth, beg your pardon, at a place called Welshpool. And they did so much work and were so useful out here that they've decided to commemorate it by making this. Made in Geraldton, contains 42 tons of steel apparently, and I can't remember how many litres of paint. So there we are, quite impressive. It's quite warm today. If you're stuck in the UK and cold, it's 38 degrees here. Just to wind everybody up. Well, back in the UK now. I'm pleased to say it's drizzling slightly, and here on the North Norfolk coast it's round about 38 degrees as well, but unfortunately near 38 degrees Fahrenheit and not Celsius. Anyhow, here's some of the tractors that I hope to be making a few videos of repairing and generally messing about with. These 5 here were all put away last November and haven't moved since, so the grass is growing around the tyres, as you can see. They were winterised in as much as they had a jam jar put over the exhaust pipe to stop the rain going down. That is the ones without a flap. And what they are is a Super Major here, which I've only had for about a year. Nuffield 1060, which I've had for probably getting on for 30 years, but it still isn't finished. And Nuffield 1060 again, which was painted blue by somebody else, so it looks like a Fordson, but it is a Nuffield. And I've had that probably nearly 40 years, and that still isn't right either. Over the back there, which I will be doing a walk round of these, if anyone's interested, is this new Performance Super Major, which I've only had probably 6 or 7 months. And beyond that, which I have had as well several years, is a Nuffield M4, petrol paraffin one. So there we are, there's 5 of them. There's more as well, which I will be coming on to shortly. The Super Major I bought, as I said, about a year ago, and I bought it from Facebook Marketplace, just on the pictures. I wasn't even here at the time, and I got in touch with the bloke who was selling it, who seemed very nice and very genuine, and he agreed to deliver it for me, and great excitement that was waiting for me when I got back here about a year ago. Unfortunately, it wasn't quite as good as it looks. When I started it up, the radiator blew water out of the top. Because the head gasket was gone, and I did that, put another head gasket on it, but it still slobbered, which, if you don't know much about diesel engines, is that they blow oil out of the exhaust. A lot of people say that can be overcome by giving them hard work, but I gave this one lots of hard work and it didn't make the slightest difference, so I ended up buying another engine for it. And the original engine's in the shed, which I hope to be doing up. Someone told me as well that it's got the wrong lift arms on. They're not Super Major ones, they are ordinary Fordson Major ones, so I've been looking for a set of those. But it does work now. I've done quite a bit to it. Put in, oh, it's noisy in reverse, that's right. The gentleman did say it was noisy in reverse, and that was because somebody had left a handbrake on while driving it and seized all the plates together and messed up the idler gear bearing, so I had to make another one of those, or bush. It does actually work all right now. I'll start it up. I have actually charged the battery up, checked the oil and water, and it just remains to put the battery back on again and see if it'll work. And I'm not cheating, it is perfectly cold, and that's the first time I've tried to start it since it was put there last November. So the proverbial, will it start? It's got a Chinese ignition switch on it, which doesn't even go the right way up. I'll just put the cold start in. It's getting a long-winded, will it start, this one? Smoky, but it does go. Right, this one I've put the battery on, checked the oil and water. Just got to cut off the jam jar before we see if it will start up. This one was bought with a muck loader on it and only running on 3 cylinders. Didn't cost very much at all. Came from up in Lincolnshire, went and fetched it one day, and I stood it up in the brambles for several years afterwards. The brambles got so high you could hardly see the tractor, and lots of it was very, very rusty. So I have spent a bit of time and put 1 or 2 new panels on it, bodged up the wings, welded them up, put in another bonnet on it, welded up the front nose cone. But it still needs quite a lot to be done. It has actually got new tyres on it. I think that the tyres got a huge bulge in them and were in a shocking state, so I'd had no choice but to raid the bank and buy some new ones. Right, jam jar off and see if it will start. Nevertheless, it is going. I wonder whether it will drive. When the major, which I didn't film, the clutch was stuck in, so I couldn't get it in gear. Oh, but this one I can. Oh, it's moving. So same procedure for this one. Haven't actually taped the jam jar on. It's a better fit this time. So this one I've had the longest. I did use it as a main tractor once. I used to be a fisherman and I used to use it for towing the boat to launch. This one was bought from a farm. They'd got it stuck and tied something onto the front axle and a big tractor to pull it out, and they'd snapped the front axle right off. Broken some of the casting underneath, and so unfortunately that needs fixing, although I drilled and put longer bolts in, so it is actually holding, but it really needs sorting out properly. And I'd also painted it blue, I don't know why. This one's had new liners in as well, the other one has, amongst other things. So mechanically they're not too bad at all. That is till we get onto these other 2 on the left here, see if this one will even quicker. Will the clutch be stuck in? No, that's okay as well. So that just leaves 2, these 2. a new performance super major, and the paraffin Nuffield. For some reason I've covered the paraffin Nuffield up. I can't really think why, other than that's the oldest. It's about 1953. I've had a fair few years as well. Again, I bought it without really looking at it, and found it had all sorts of things wrong with it, but it is a runner now. This one, oh dear, it's hard to know where to start. Had all, as you can see, the back end is all a different coloured blue from the rest of it. Had all that apart. New wheel bearings and seals and several things. The hydraulics, brakes are in a shocking state. This engine leaks water, not into the oil, actually out of the head gasket. I've put another head gasket on that still leaks, so it must be warped or something. So that's obviously major operations got to happen there. And worse than that, probably the rear crankshaft seal is gone, and so every time you use it, that leaks oil out of the back end. I think also it blows oil out of the exhaust as well. So not good. Definitely work in progress, this one. I spent a fair bit of time last summer here, doing a bit to it when I could. But now that I'm officially retired, I should be able to do loads to it. So here's 3 other major projects in store. This International 955 is the only tractor I've got which is actually road legal, and I've had that quite a long time. My son, who's now 44, took his tractor test on it when he was 16, so that gives you an idea. I have shot blasted the back wheels and painted them because it's been dipped in salt water a time or two launching boats, but like most of them do, the cabs and the doors and things get terribly rusty. This is the battery compartment. I have a nasty feeling that one day I'm going to find the battery on the floor, so lots to do with this one. But it's a good old tractor really, it runs and pulls well. This is a little draught, which again needs lots and lots of work. Had that many years, but we use it quite a bit for levelling a lane, and that's been stood up for the winter. It doesn't normally have a cab on. That did have perspex windows in, but there's only about one left, which you can't see through. The others are blown out during this winter when we had some gales. This one's a Massey 50B digger, and again, well, this is actually a joint owner. I don't own all of this. We originally bought it between 3 of us in the 80s, and we've had it ever since. It was in good condition once. It had a cab on and everything till it rusted away. Again, it's seen a bit of salt water in its life, but it's got a Perkins 4212 engine in, and I think the later ones were fitted with a 4236. So this one's a little bit gutless, but it does run a treat, and all the hydraulics work and everything. The main thing that doesn't work are the brakes, and I think to get to them would be quite a major task, because it would mean taking all the back actor and everything like that off. But there we are, that's the 3rd project. They're just a few of the many projects that I intend to do. Whether I ever will or not is another matter. But anyway, thanks for watching. If you've got this far in the video, you've done very well indeed. Hopefully I'll make another one or two shortly.